Mr. Vineet, thank you so much for being with us today. I would like to know your feedback on the event, about the event today.
So this was my second session. First time I actually attended in March 2017, and this was the second event that I attended. The session was awesome because it actually talked about the challenges which the construction industry is going on currently, and we talk about not only in the global context, we even talked about the Indian context also. And also I feel that the panel discussion which happened was very relative, very relevant and very informative, because the questions which were asked by the audience were very important, very practical. It actually started that how the use of technology can help into making relevant and being a change for the disruption. And I think the answer that we got from the panelists were from like multiple backgrounds. In fact, one of the panelists, they are into prefab and manufacturing, and they told that why don't we start treating construction as a manufacturing industry, and there was a completely paradigm shift. So I think I am enlightened, I am intellectually very stimulated after having and hearing those conversations, and I think it was a very good informative session overall.
Thanks for that. I just have another question. So now, in the construction industry, the more of terminologies that we are using is in IT. We are talking about IoT, we are talking about machine learning. So how do you prepare the industry for that transition, and what do you think that PMI can do to bridge that gap?
Yeah. So I think one of the things that we have to see and understand is that construction is still an industry which is just above agriculture and hunting in terms of the technical spend that we saw. So we have to make sure that the technology investment in construction industry rises. And also I think one of the important things that we discussed was that how do we make sure that we get a skilled labor and workforce, especially in Indian context. I think what we look forward for PMI to have certain types of training. So here if you see that in the market we would be talking at the middle level, wherein we will be talking about how technology can be an enabler. But if you really go to the ground level, you will not find skilled labor, right? That's a challenge, because most of the people, they come from an agriculture background and they are not trained. They are basically unskilled labor. I think we should have a kind of a training academy or something, either for the engineers who are fresh graduates, something like a curriculum which can make sure that we have a skilled labor force. While we implement the technology, it is very important that we have the people, we have the workforce who is able to understand that and who is able to implement that technology.
Yes.
I think that will help a lot.
Okay, sure. Being a project management institute, I think what you're saying is there should be a collaboration between a technology and the management, and you're looking forward for PMI to provide that.
Yes, not only that, just to add to that, right now you see there is a supply and demand gap.
Yeah.
If we talk about technology for the project management, we don't find skilled laborers. There is acute shortage. So, in fact, one of the panelists who has started doing prefab manufacturing, he said, why don't we take a clue, because he shared his own example. Hiring an engineer from a Wipro and TCS is cheaper than hiring an unskilled labor who will cost you more, and even there will be an additional cost for training that. So I'm just thinking that on a broader aspect, if PMI can take a lead and have some sort of curriculum, some sort of program which would help the organization and companies finding a skilled labor at a cheaper cost.
Okay,
I think
sure.
that will help a lot.
Yes, sure. It will. I'm sure it will. And thank you so much for being our sponsor. And it was great having you here. Any other thing that you would like to see from PMI more of, or any other?
I think it was a very well organized session, and we look forward to have continuous association with PMI, and we will also like to see what more work we can do on a ground level with PMI to making sure that the uses of technology, the technology adoption happens in a seamless, consistent way.
Yes, that's very encouraging. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.